We'll put the top table on.
Please, please do. Can Darren set up on the same side, please?
Then you won't have to move.
Won't have to move anything. I can just set up Robin's list.
Yes.
So yes.
Nice and simple.
Nice and simple. I like simple. So yeah, let's see if Darren can continue his win streak into the final round.
He maybe.
But or could Robin win the second Voitek Invitational? You know, because that's the thing.
In which case, we're going to start changing it into the Jarvel Invitational.
The Jarvel Invitational, yes.
He won the other one.
Won the other one, yes.
And you've got the same faction symbol.
Yeah, easy. It makes it very easy for me.
Good.
3 ships as well, so it keeps on it gets easier and easier. However, this is going to be interesting to see how. I like seeing lists immediately after, so consecutive lists, because you also see a different way of flying said lists.
Yeah.
So we might see a different game entirely with this one. Robin is very skilled at what he does. Yes, the Voitek Invitational, because Voitek was the one who's organised this.
Yes.
So we just as a joke called it the Voitek Invitational. So yeah.
Voitek being the gentleman who just
the gentleman who came in
with the laptop.
Made top 8 at Yavin. He's probably one of those skilled players we have here at the store. So yeah, so why not? I mean, it started as a joke, then it became like let's actually call it the Voitek Invitational. That's what it is. While we've got time before the match begins, I'm going to do a quick plug for some of the events we've got coming up this weekend. So, as you all know, Athena's always got events going on weekends. We've got some great events going on this weekend. We have if you're a Magic the Gathering fan, we've got the game day for Amonkhet. We've got an event on at 11 o'clock and 11:30, Saturday and then Sunday. It's a standard event, so if you're playing Magic, you like your standard format, you can play that, and there's some great prizes to be earned, some promos, and some playmats. We also have the Guild Ball Monthly Meetup, which is completely free to attend. The Guild Monthly Meetup is completely free. Come along, play some Guild Ball if you're a Guild Ball fan, which is great because the following Saturday we've got our Guild Ball Summer Open event. So good practice for the upcoming tournament. However, for your board game fans out there, we've got a Catan regional going on. The famous game Settlers of Catan, or Catan as it's known as these days, it's having a regional, and the winner of the event will get a buy into, well, not a buy, but they will get to enter into the national event at UK Games Expo. And they'll also get £10 in store credit, I believe. Double check that. I believe it is £10 in store credit. Yep, £10 store credit. So £10 on whatever you want from the store, essentially. Get an X-Wing ship for that, or near enough.
Most of one.
Yeah, close. Yeah, sorry?
Most of one.
Most of one. £12. So you're putting £2 in the kitty. Oh well. On Sunday, if you're a Star Wars fan, we've got Star Wars the Card Game. So an actual LCG tournament going on, which we don't often have them. But it's there, and people can play it if they want to. I'm not sure what to expect for that, to be quite frank. And of course, we have the Sunday game day for Amonkhet coming up. But this is not to be outdone with the fact that in just under 4 weeks, on June 10th, we have our Android Netrunner regionals happening on Saturday and Sunday. That's going to be a big one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And if you're a Star Trek Attack Wing fan, we have an OP event going on tomorrow, actually. We have the Trouble with Triples OP event. So we'll have triples on our ships. That gives us buffs until we get 5 triples. Then it starts giving us debuffs. But by that point, you remove the shields of the opponent. Just transport them over to their ship. Have some triples. And I'm going to keep 1 because that gives me an extra attack dice and defense dice. But oh well. Actually, I'd love to see X-Wing do that. I'd love to see X-Wing do missions. Actual defined, here's your objective missions. Spaceship Sunday hedge. Kind of are, I do agree.
I mean, in most of the big ship packs come with 1.
Spaceship Sunday. We've got Star Wars the Card Game. Not going to be many people. Yes, Spaceship Sunday is a yes from me. I don't think we're going to have too much problem with that. The Amonkhet Standard Showdown may take up some space. The Game Day will take up some space, as will the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament, but we should have space for Spaceship Sunday. Excuse me. Speaking of, next time on the stream, I actually want to get a few of our players who play Heroes of the Atari Cluster to actually play their game of Heroes of the Atari Cluster on stream. I'd like to get that done and have some commentary going on. We'd probably have to activate the microphone on stage for the camera, but we'd like to see about getting that done.
Well, that could be...
Yeah,
that could be interesting.
This is the horrible game with a mountain of red dice. Yes, but only certain situations.
It can have a horrible mountain of red dice.
It can have take Jan down, and that's one issue of red dice taken away. To be fair, it absolutely slaughtered TIE defenders in last round. However, I've also seen it completely die and fail last week, so
it could go either way.
Yeah,
it'd be really interesting to.
It's an extreme list.
See what it does now.
It's an extreme list. Either wins very well or it loses very harshly.
Yes. No, it's going to be really interesting to see what it does here.
Well, Robin's never given us a bad game. He's a great player. Darren's a very skilled player.
Yes.
It's going to be one hell of a slug. It's going to be. I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to go painful for someone. Both are undefeated though, so whoever wins has won the second Voitek Invitational.
This one, I do think it really could go either way.
Oh yes,
I have no idea what to expect.
Robin is flying his SFs, and we know he likes his SFs, and he's very skilled with his SFs.
He's very good with them, although this is a different build to his usual.
Which is also worth noting, thanks to that Quick Draw and Backdraft are no longer part skill 9 together. Backdraft has lost his VI for expertise, so that is also a factor involved.
True.
Because it means he can't choose the order activation. He has to maneuver them in a certain way.
This is true. And it does mean that Backdraft will go after Darren's entire list.
That is true. Yes.
Quick Draw will go before Miranda, but after Aaron and Jan. Which means that overall Darren does have the pilot skill advantage, although not to quite the extent it did in the last game.
There's still, and don't forget, Quick Draw gets his extra attacks, and so he's technically 2 ships in 1 almost.
Until those shields are gone.
Unless, and I think that's the key here, is that the key target for Darren is Quick Draw, because if he can remove all those shields in one foul swoop, that might decide the game.
Yes. I think what he wants to do is Robin's particular list, with the way it is, I think is possibly going to be an unusual one. In that it might be one of the few times where you may actually want to split fire, at least to begin with. Because both Quick Draw and Pure Sabak rely on still having their hits, essentially getting them down to half their health. It cripples them enormously.
Yeah.
Pure Sabak gets an extra attack die until he's taken, as long as he has 1 or fewer damage cards. So effectively, until he's on half health. And obviously, Quick Draw works best when she still has her shields. If you can drop down both of those stats before they get their attacks off, that takes out a huge amount of the firepower from the list.
By the way, people, if you're watching us live, or if you're watching this on Facebook, YouTube in the future, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, follow us on, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitch, and place a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, place a comment below, like the video. If you're watching on Twitch now, talk to us. We've got the chat for a reason. We've got the chat down in the corner. We can chat to you. You're there. We're here to. We like interacting with our audience. That's why we do this, because we're here to interact with you. You feel part of the show, Lightweight frame. So we do have lightweight frame on Quick Draw. Done, and maybe. Lol.
Now, lightweight frame there, really on all 3 of these. A good call, I think. They all only have 2 green dice.
Well, we know it's gonna come into play with someone unless he uses the auto blaster, in which case no use whatsoever.
Yes, but other than that, it's a very good call to put on all of these ships if you're not using something else. That's another difference between this version and Robin's previous version of the list, which had guidance chips, where the lightweight frames are.
There's the handshake. The game has now begun in earnest. Let's see how this is going to go.
Yes. Here we go.
So Hedge asks, how do you think the game is balanced at present?
Well, watching this on a 42 inches, that's... No, in terms of how it's balanced, I genuinely can't call it.
Yeah,
it could go either way. These are both very powerful lists.
You have almost like the Alpha Strike of Miranda going in with the Auto Blaster, all the concussion missiles, which he has as well.
Yeah.
But then you've got Quick Draw's double tap, and the fact those SFs can shove out quite a lot of dice and also shoot 2 targets necessary, plus the double arc coverage for both, and Pure Sabak rolling 4 dice. It's both are fairly well balanced in terms of attack.
Yeah.
Defense is where the trouble comes because, yes, Darren has less dice, but Robin might as well have no dice for some of his attacks. So it kind of balances itself out in the end.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. It's... I don't think either list has an inherent advantage just on the list build. They're both very good pilots, so you can't really call it on that.
No, I think they're both exceptional. I mean, Darren's got some good practice with this list in. However, Robin has flown the SFs. He's amazing at them. And also he's also very experienced with strikers as well. So I think that we could see a very quick bloodbath here.
Potentially, yeah.
And it could be no beef. It could be the end of Robin's reign because he is maybe he won the last escalation. He won the last standard.
He's won the last 2 tournaments.
He's won essentially the last 2 tournaments, both of them. He's won the Voitek Invitational the last time as well. Yep. He's 3-0 at this point essentially. Could this be the final time where it becomes 3-1? Or will he go for 4 and keep the streak alive? It's the odds. The thing is, he's a very skilled player. And the list is fairly strong. The double tap with Quick Draw. I mean, everyone has Electronic Baffle and Rage on Quick Draw because of quality, but I think Robin's hit the nail on the head that if you're doing damage to yourself, it's damage your opponents can't cause, which, and also, I think waiting for your opponents to actually give you the damage, because they want to shoot you at some point anyway, so why make it easier for them?
Yeah, effectively what you're doing with Quick Draw, what you want to do is lose 1 shield a turn. In an ideal scenario. If you're taking the shields off yourself, you're not going to do that. Because your opponent's going to get rid of some more.
Yeah. The issue...
Probably.
I think the big danger to that is going to be the Auto Blaster...
could just clear them.
Clear them in one go.
Yeah.
And if not, the TLT can at least clear 2 of them. So that is going... That's going to be a factor.
The missiles. Miranda's missiles could clear them all as well.
Yeah, Quick Draw probably is going to get 1 extra attack out of this game, and that's
probably.
That's what I think. I think Darren's going to gun for Quick Draw, maybe even Pure Sabak to make sure he doesn't get those 4 dice attacks.
Yeah. Just to get rid of those are massive bonuses. Growing a 4 dice primary, if Pure Sabak can charge in, get at range 1, that's a good 5 dice.
I'm going to preempt this because I'd imagine that Backdraft would be at the back. At the front, unless he's flying back. I mean, I would think in an ideal world it'd be reversed. You want Quick Draw at the front because they want to shoot. You want her to be shot first, but it also makes manoeuvring into position awkward.
True.
So putting it in the position now makes it a lot easier. But we'll see when they activate.
Easy way to tell. Yeah, Backdrafter will move first.
He's the first one to move.
Unlike last time.
Yes. Well, Pure Sabak will move, then Backdraft will move.
Well, yeah, but we know who Pure Sabak is. It's a different ship.
I love something that can pack a punch, so I'll love to see a lot of red dice. Rogue Historian. Despite the Scum Villainy dominance, some really creative rebel lists in the meta at the moment. I agree. There's some really creative... Well, I think there's some creative stuff on all sides. I mean, this list for Imperials is very creative.
There was a while when the rebels were basically dead, but I think they're coming back.
Well, I think it's very hard to have that situation where all three are completely and utterly balanced. You're always going to have one that's dominant and one that's a bit less dominant.
And right now, Scum are probably at the top.
They've always been, though, I think. Well, they weren't at first. They quickly emerged as that. But I don't think that's a problem.
I think the top 4 worlds list, there's... No, the Rebels are definitely making a massive comeback at the moment.
I agree.
Which is excellent.
Ooh, nice move there, Robin. Yeah, I don't know. I do agree that takedown Jan, and there's no extra dice in there from Randa besides the one she can give herself.
The extra action from Aaron
is also important, though.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Jumpmaster nerfs. I still think it's not enough. But I don't know.
I mean,
can you say the Jumpmaster nerfs are enough when Worlds were still dominated with them and the World Champions still did win with 2 Jumpmasters? No disrespect to Jumpmasters, but they were undercosted and they still are undercosted. And
that's something that FFG said they're not going to change.
Unfortunately, they're dancing around the issue. They're not dealing with the root. In game design, the most important thing you learn is you don't put a patch on top of something. You fix the root problem, but they're not fixing the root problem. They're just causing. They might be having knock-on effects, which they're not foreseeing. I'm not saying that they're doing the wrong thing. Of course, hindsight is always better, and Quick Draw has just moved, so that means Quick Draw is in fact the rear one.
Excellent.
But I don't work for FFG, and I think FFG are doing an okay job. It's not easy balancing a game that has a lot of so much moving parts involved,
especially when you're constantly it's effectively in a constant state of being built.
Yeah,
because they're making new stuff for it.
I mean, wave 1 and 2 and 3, X-Wings, TIE Fighters and TIE Advances were fine, but with the advances in how the game has evolved, not anymore. It's the nature of a living, breathing game that constantly evolves and changes. You can't. I mean, people complain about they made a mistake with the X-Wing and the TIE Fighters and the Hawk and all this, but the thing is, that was the early days.
They'd have built them differently now.
Yeah,
and that's just. Of course they would.
But
and that's always going to be the case. Like the stuff they're coming out with now, in a year, 2 years time, wherever we are then, they'll have learned more and would have done stuff differently with the things that are coming out now.
Yeah,
it's just the nature of the thing.
I think if you actually look back now, you can actually see a clear, distinct moment in the game where the designers finally realised, okay, we have our stride.
Yeah, when they got into the groove.
I think wave 6 or 7, about a wave after Scum, was about when they started finding their feet. Audio Weasel's got a good point. Not fixing the root problem is also going to shrink their design space some. New upgrades have to take into consideration. Agreed.
True. You're probably right there. I'm not convinced. I don't think they realised quite how popular X-Wing was going to be.
Oh, that as well. They didn't expect it to take off as it did. No. I think that's also a factor.
It kind of exploded.
Yeah, it did. There's no denying that.
Which I'm sure they're very happy with.
Oh yeah,
very.
Yeah, it's the golden goose for them pretty much right now. I think
at the moment.
At the moment, yeah. Agreed. It's still sad that class ships are not basically dead on arrival except for Biggs, and I do agree with that, Hedge. However, at the same time, I can see it both ways, because as a Star Wars fan, I agree. It's so
I want an X-Wing.
I want an X-Wing on the table. I want a Y-Wing on the table that's not you've got TLT. I want an A-Wing, But at the same time, you can't favour those ships just because they are quote unquote iconic.
True, not entirely. That is, you making a game.
It's a very That's, and I always say this: the fluff serves the mechanics. The mechanics do not serve the fluff. And although this is Star Wars, you have to accept
it's a game.
That at the end of the day, it's a game, and it's got to maintain balance, and that means that
that
I mean, if we were gonna throw mechanics and finesse out the window and just go fluff. Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, and all that would all say add 2 evade results whenever you compare results.
True,
because the heroes they don't get hit. They don't get hit. There has to be balanced considerations involved. That's why Luke can't just be untouchable on the field. He has defensive stuff, a good defensive ability, but
But he has to be beatable.
He has to be beatable, yeah.
Otherwise, it's not a game.
It's not a game. It's not fair. You know, otherwise you'd always take Luke.
Yeah, and then you'd win.
And then you'd win. So,
or really, what would happen then is every game would go to time because both people would bring Luke.
Yeah,
and it'd be boring, and then no one would play.
Yeah, so
they need to make it. So,
and that's the argument which I presented in the, because you can find a post on the forums regarding the Hawk, which someone said, you know, it should be super maneuverable, and it's like, well, they did design the Hawk during a day when the shuttle was coming out. They needed basically a rebel counterpart to the shuttle, and the shuttle had a bad dial, and they knew it was going to be a small base, so they wanted it somewhat maneuverable, but not so much. Doing the Hawk today, I think they'd give it an entirely different dial. I think they'd give it a K-turn for a start.
Yeah.
And because it is, in law, it is this super maneuverable, highly maneuverable, agile like freighter with a turret on board. But that being said, I think the abilities are very thematic. You know, Jan was a rebel operative. She gives someone extra attack dice against someone. She's a true support character, as she was in the game.
Yeah.
Kyle, same thing. He's a rebel agent. He goes behind enemy lines. He's a force user. He provides focus tokens. In the early days, focus was kind of a mechanic they reserved for force users. You know, Luke turns a focus up to an evade.
Or doing wibbly things with
Wibble things with focus, yeah.
And yes, it wouldn't have a one attack die.
It wouldn't have one attack die.
Because that's just...
They've
noticed that there's literally no other ship with one attack
They have come out and said that was a mistake.
Yeah.
And if they were doing it today, although it does mean you have to take a turret, and I think if you wanted to give a fix to the Hawk, just simply give it a reduction to the turret it takes. With an exception to TLT, maybe. Like, give it a reason to take dorsal turret or blaster turret. Yeah, even though blaster kind of is now kind of dead thanks to
the sync turret that's coming out and the dorsal
synced
turret.
and dorsal. I agree.
It absolutely.
Star Wars is what attracted people.
Yes, but it still has to be a good game on its own merits.
Yes, it has to be.
Otherwise, people won't stay.
Yeah.
It gets people through the door by being Star Wars. It gets people to stay by being a good game.
And I agree with No Beef. This is where a campaign with proper missions, where you actually have to build with missions in mind into your fleets, would be interesting. Because there'd be probably no power gamey lists. Because Dengar's going to mean nothing if one of your lists is you must, survive X, Y, and Z long rounds or something. I don't know what you do for missions.
Yeah,
but yeah. Oh yes, I forgot to turn the overlay on. I knew there was something wrong. Yeah, whoops. Sorry, it's on our screen, but
we can see it.
We can see it. There you go.
Forgot that you couldn't.
There you go.
There you are.
Problem solved.
Sorry about that.
Quality broadcasting here at Athena Games. No, mistakes happen every now and then. Yeah, I do say mechanics. A proper campaign with thought out missions that you have to build around is key.
Yeah, that could be really interesting. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm going to go back to talking about attack thing.
Okay.
It has every single OP event you attend has the same mission and the same scenario in mind. However, because the game is so mechanically imbalanced at times, and I do love attack wing, it just results in a joust to kill the opponent. But the Trouble with Tribbles event, Trouble with Tribbles, which is the event we're doing tomorrow, attack wing, which has its proper scenario overview. Sounds like okay. So I'm going to quickly go through this. So as you guys can see, I'm going to quickly shove it onto the screen so people can have a look at this. So there you go. There's the setup and overlay. So you get a planet in the middle, you have mission tokens, and each mission token basically is a tribble. So that's what the board looks like. The setup player area, same as X-Wing. I'm going to quickly go back as I talk over what the rules are, because I'd love to see this kind of thing in X-Wing. Not this specific scenario, because I think this specific scenario is also really not broken, but you can mess with it.
So there's no tribbles in Star Wars.
Yeah, and that. But you can call it something else. A Jawa. A Jawa.
There's a Jawa.
Jawas are cute and cuddly and kind of just appear. So you must put a tribble on every ship at the start of the game, at least one or two ships. And while there's a tribble token on that ship, you get, there are one or two tribble tokens, you get +1 attack and +1 defense roll each time you defend or each time you attack. If there are 3 to 4, you get no benefit. And at the end of the round, you add another token to ship that raise a triple. At 5 or above, you roll one less attack dice, one less defense dice. So you get debuffs. However, as an action, you may just disable your shields, because in an attack wing you can turn off your shields. And you can target another ship that has no shields, or has their shields disabled, and you can basically say, have my tribbles, and you can transfer as many tribbles tokens as you want over to that ship. So you were like, okay, I've taken down your shields now, I'm going to disable my shields, and just like, here you go, as an action, have all but one of my tribbles, so I still get an extra attack dice. Smile. You know. Now, not the exact same scenario, but I would love missions, and like there's objectives, which is in this one, simply destroy the opponent's ship. Bonus, at the end of the game, the player with the fewest critical hit tokens beside his ship gains plus 20 crit tokens. So that's a successful transfer of tribbles.
Okay.
So the player who transfers the most tribbles across gets bonus points, regardless whether they win or lose. I'd like to see something like that for X-Wing. Something that adds like objectives and bonus points and things in it.
That could be really interesting, I think. Yeah.
I agree.
I would see that.
Kowakian monkey lizard. That's what you can have it be.
There you go.
Thing is, they're very annoying. So I'd actually say I'd do it reverse, where you've got one or two, it's minus, and then if you've got more because they're arguing with each other, you simply gain more because now you can finally concentrate on things. I mean, that's I think the big strength of Attack Wing is that it has missions that are based upon episodes as well. They're based upon the actual episodes from the show, sometimes very loosely, but. That's an advantage. I also like the prize ships, even though I hate the fact I've got prize ships as well. But I like X-Wing because it has alt art cards. You know,
those are pretty.
They are pretty. Well,
some of them are pretty.
No, it's not that. It's that they're not as valuable as.
That's true.
Then again, I've spent more on X-Wing cards than I have on Attack Wing ships, I guess, in certain circumstances. Okay, hey, I'm new to X-Wing. This is from El Marisso. El Marisso. Hey, I'm new to X-Wing. Is there a chance they will add some stealth X's from the EU? Probably not, given how the T-70 exists, and the T-70 kind of has replaced that in canon. Maybe you could do a stealth X. I mean, kind of. A stealth X would be an X-Wing with a stealth device, really.
The Rebels don't have access to it. They're the only faction without access to a cloak.
That is true. Rebels are the only faction that don't have access to a cloaking device. You are correct, sir. But I also wouldn't want to see 4 X-Wings coming at me with cloaking mechanics.
True.
But that could be also fun. I don't know.
I'm interested to see if because they don't have it. And
I completely agree.
The Scum have theirs. They can have one thing with it that might break.
I mean, if there's one thing they've...
And the Phantoms are about
sometimes. If there's one thing they've... Oh, we're wrong, apparently. I guess...
Okay, true, but just Sabine's tie.
Just Sabine's tie.
But that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And one technically Imperial ship that can...
Yeah, one ship.
But, I don't know.
So yeah, okay, Sabine's tie can.
Look, if anything has been proven, is that FFG are not afraid to do EU stuff when necessary. They had the E-Wing and the TIE Phantom in the wave, and that was when we didn't know that there were new films coming out, or it was very early days then.
Yeah.
Now, naturally, I think we're in a position where Lucas almost say, we want canon stuff ideally, but if there's not, that's not possible.
Well, look at Wave 11, it's all...
Wave 11 is all Legend stuff.
Yeah.
They're not, which, that was people's concern, that they couldn't do Legend stuff, but I think if anything, it's been disproven.
Realistically, fundamentally what it is
there's no other.
They can get the licenses.
Yeah.
If they can get the licenses, and, well, they can, clearly, because, they do.
Skirg is small. If Rebel Skirg has an illicit, that will cloak too. That's a good point, yeah.
True.
Isn't there something in the Sea Rock that's going to give Rebel Hawks access to illicit, or am I imagining that? I've not seen anything like that.
Not that I can recall.
No. I might be... Oh, what perfect manoeuvring. He's lined up his quick draw backdrop perfectly. No engagement, and...
Not yet.
Robin seems to be trying to force Darren into the engagement zone, or at least trying to get him to split his forces. And unfortunately, that asteroid is going to be painfully difficult to get around for both ships.
Yes. Ooh.
I don't want to part as an X-Wing. I don't want a Scum X-Wing. I think Scum have already got enough toys from other factions in their list. No offense to Scum, but you kind of... what annoyed me is that Empire players kind of moan, oh, Rebel are getting our TIE fighters. It's like, please. Scum already stole the hawk.
Yeah.
What did the Scum steal from the Imperials? Oh, boo-hoo! They stole the fire spray. Well, guess what? They stole a hawk. They stole a Y-wing. They stole a Z95. I raise you that.
Yeah.
So if anything, and it did appear in the show, so it's not like it has no basis on it.
There's a reason for it, and frankly, I really like the Rebel tie.
I'll give I like the Rebel tie as well. Give Rebels part as an X-wing. Yeah, I could see that. No shots again this round.
Well, this is
Darren appears to now be manoeuvring Jan away from the engagement. I think he's realised that Robin wants to take Jan down fast because that's the weak link.
Yeah.
However, every single round is another token that Jan gets for defence or offence. And that means getting ever more closer gets ever more dangerous.
Yeah.
The pulse ray shield is a mod. Does it? Yeah, pulse ray shield. Look at that. Pulse ray shield. X-wing. I might have missed that, unless I'm forgetting about it entirely. Pulse ray shield. Rebel and Scum only. During the end phase, you may receive 1 armor token to recover 1 shield up to your shield value. You can equip this card. Oh yeah. So that is actually a kind of fixed card for the Hawk, which it can only go on the Hawk, I believe.
For the Rebels, yes.
For the Rebels, for the Scum, it can go on multitude of ships, but for the
still only
M3A and the Starhawk.
As well as the Hawk.
Yeah. So yeah, shield recovery, I don't know if it's going to matter much for the Hawk. Especially, then again, you want to do a 1 forward. And it's like, well, why not?
Yeah, you're going to do that anyway. Probably not on Jan, who will most likely want to do it green.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Jan probably is the one who doesn't benefit from this. And to be fair, she's the one who's probably the least one who's going to benefit from that, which is fine, because the other ones could use a bit of a boost.
Yeah.
Carl still gets to focus, so long as he's not stressed. I like the Arc Caster, the dual card that you can recharge.
Yes, that looks interesting.
It does look interesting. I don't know if it's going to be useful. I think people are going to look at it and think, it's not really that powerful, but...
That's a good point. That, the Pulse Rail Shield will give the Kirax access to a 1 straight manoeuvre. Because they can take it as well.
Yeah!
They only have 1 shield.
And they don't have 1 forward, so yes.
They don't. So,
what kind of list would be the counter to Darren's Miranda list?
Well, where's its weakness?
Its weakness is that it forces you to roll... depends. If you're rolling dice for defense, its auto blaster is strength.
Yeah.
If you take a low attack dice, low defense ship, he just uses the primary because he set his secondary weapon.
If you can alpha strike something off the board,
if you can match or get 11s,
yes.
So if your particle 9, 9, 9 and get 11s by veteran instincts and alpha strike one of the ships off the board, then you stand a chance. Bombs, also not really a fan, because these are a slow manoeuvring ship. They like to go slow and they like to keep together. Anything that assault missiles would wreck this list, because they like to be in formation.
Yeah.
So assault missiles is probably a good call.
Yeah.
Good evening, Chris Neal.
Hello. Though you don't see assault missiles a huge amount these days, mostly because swarms aren't.
Swarms aren't a thing. But the thing is, that's the thing. People assume it just affects swarms. It affects formation flying.
It does.
And there's quite a lot of lists that do result in formation flying.
Yeah.
However, I think too many people see it as
an anti-swarm device.
And they don't think of it that it's still a missile. It's still like a very hard, 4 or 5 attack dice?
4, I think.
It's still a 4 attack dice ship. 4 attack dice attack.
Yeah.
So at range 2 to 3. And it does damage, splash damage. So I think it's one people kind of discount because they think, plasmas, because I get essentially 6 shield damage if I time it right. But assault can be good for splashing the damage around. Ion torpedoes are also an option if you want to get control. Now he doesn't benefit from that, but if you can stop Kraken from attacking, then that will stop the extraction economy.
Decimators.
Decimators
will help.
Rex and Rorke combo to suppress a Brandon. That's not a bad call.
Yeah.
Present question. What can Horn do in an E-Wing?
When he can take an extra attack in the end phase.
I think he's referring to lore-wise.
Oh, lore-wise.
Because I don't think Corin ever flew an E-Wing. I think he flew it once.
They needed a pilot with name from the universe.
That simply is the explanation. They needed a pilot that wasn't already taken for the E-Wing. Corin's name came up. It's like, yep, we'll have Corin.
There you go.
There you go. We'll take Corin. It's like I say, the lore serves the mechanics.
Yeah. The thing is, if you were going by the lore, you'd end up with 50 X-Wing pilots.
Yes.
Because everyone flies
an X-Wing. I mean, Shara Bay, she's in an ARC, but she actually flies, what, an A-Wing? Or a Y-Wing?
I think a Y-Wing.
I think Nora flies
Nora flies a Y-Wing.
Nora flies a Y-Wing, but I think Shara flies an A-Wing.
Yeah.
So
a lot of them, no, they flew a different thing.
Yeah. All right, we're finally getting some car stuff. Gianessa's coming into play.
Although Miranda, I believe Miranda is in the right ship, though. I believe she did fly a K-Wing.
Miranda did fly a K-Wing, yes.
So that's 1 in arc. That's
2 in arc.
Just clips. That's 2. If it does, that's 2 focus tokens for her. Torquil pushing Mantis PS0 wouldn't help. That would be a effect. That would be a thing. There we go.
That would hurt. That would hurt because she relies on her pilot skill.
Yeah.
So I guess with Phyllis 6 dice at range 1 all game. Full on with Phyllis 5. Ooh. Yeah, full on. Yeah. That could be effective.
Yeah. Ooh. There are things you can do against this.
Bumpity bump. That's one thing Darren is showing. He's not really good at formation flying in this.
Stress control, maybe?
It would stop. Thing is, she gets rave anyway.
Yeah.
There are ways of getting beyond the focus.
Mm-hmm.
Although it would hurt, it wouldn't hurt as much.
Swarm. Yeah.
First
swarms.
Attack of the game coming up.
Yeah, a swarm would also be a problem.
And I think that's quick draw. No, it's not quick draw. It's
number 2. That's backdraft, taking a shot from.
That's quick draw. Has just taken 1 shield off, thanks to TLT.
Yep.
And that's 1, so that's 2 shields off. I believe that is backdraft.
Based on that art, that's backdraft's picture.
So he's going for backdraft first. I guess that's because he's the only one in range. So you maybe...
Yeah, quick draw is
too far out.
So she might not be a valid target right now.
No, but that doesn't mean she doesn't get an attack either, so...
True.
Swarms? Yeah.
Swarms,
yeah. Yeah, because you can't... If you can... Yeah, Swarm would pick this apart.
Yeah. Aaron taking a range 3 shot at...
2 dice. His dice are being very good to him. And
is
that's a focus. It's a focus and evade.
Or is that 2 evade?
Oh no, I think that's the entire thing. Yeah, that's 2 evades.
However, that is an action for Miranda, which I think is what he cares about.
Target lock.
Because now she has missiles.
She does have missiles.
So it's time for concussion missile. That's the action from Aaron.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now I think it's going to be concussion missiles. There we go.
Okay. Concussion missiles incoming.
Yeah. There we go.
And here comes Jan to give extra dice, which happens for both attacks for the concussion missiles. Is concussion gets 2 attacks, isn't it?
No, clusters.
Oh, it's clusters. Yeah, of course, clusters get 2 attacks. But spending the shield for the other extra dice. Thank you very much, boys.
What are concussions extra thing? I can't quite remember.
They turn a eyeball to a crit, I believe, or a blank to a crit.
Ah, yes. So this is.
You be keeping an eye on the action while I'm... Of course.
So that's 6 dice of attack, which is...
One of the blank results into a hit result.
One of the blank results will hit, and it doesn't spend...
Damn, look at all those dice!
And that one is from...
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and then focus those to hits. That's 4.
That would kill backdraft if he rolls nothing. That's
a focus result.
Spend the focus because...
And then don't die.
Hopefully don't die, because I think there may be a crit in there, unless there's all hits. It looks like Robin is in for an uphill battle against... To keep his win.
No. It'd already taken 2, and 5 take 1, 4 dead. Backdraft off.
Backdraft's dead. So actually, this could be bad.
Yeah, he lost backdraft early. That's really not what he wanted. That's some damage onto Miranda. So that's that looks like Miranda is out of shields. She spent 1 on the attack.
She did. I'm glad Miranda can't take Swarm Leader.
Yeah,
Yes.
if Miranda could... Yeah.
Oh,
if Miranda had an EPT...
there's a reason FFG don't give all ships EPTs, you know.
Yes. No, she's lost the rest of her shields from that attack.
Oh, she did she?
Yes, and that's 2... Oh, no, wait. There's some recalculations going on here. Backdraft knots are dead.
Oh. Backdraft is not destroyed. I'm going to go and find out what's going on.
Yeah, good plan, because that was odd. Okay. Is that Miranda? Yeah. Yeah, Miranda does have low agility. She cannot take concentrated fire. Just put a lot of dice at it and she will fall. Loads of reasons Miranda shouldn't have an EPT. Unboom. I don't know. The debris coalesced and formed a ship again, I think. No, Miranda can't have Swarm Leader for the best. Otherwise, she'd be able to quite easily get 3 7 dice at range 1. Which would be silly. Yeah. Yeah, no, a pilot skill 10 Miranda would be horrible.
Okay, Darren was very quick with activating his abilities, and Robin pointed out that he would have got to shoot with quick draw first.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that, and he quick draw take off all the shields of Miranda, so Miranda would have no shields to spend. Thus, quick draws alive on 1 hull.
Yes, okay, and Miranda appears to have taken 3 hull points of damage. Oh no, Miranda's dead. While we were out walking.
Well, that soon quickly turned.
Okay, now it's the other. No,
it's the other way.
The other direction.
It's the other way.
Wow. Right.
I mean, Darren agreed to it. There was no.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he did say that he was pretty sharpish with his abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like a. You could argue it was you kind of sped along to that pilot skill, but.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now boom.
Yeah. Now boom.
Boom, unboom, reboom, different boom.
Different boom.
Different boom. It's fine.
That she can still get a focus thanks to Aaron.
Ray.
From Ray, because
Ray, she
banks it, and
Yep.
she can put it back on there at the start of the combat phase.
Yeah.
All right, so
And
now
get
it's
the target lock from
now it's
Aaron.
looking a lot more in Robin's favour. I mean, originally it was looking in Darren's favour, but now it's looking in Robin's favour.
Yeah.
I mean,
Darren has lost his
big gun
damage, which is going to be a problem
because he can look. Darren can take backdraft at the very least, provided he can get arc on backdraft.
He doesn't need arc. He has Jan.
TLT. Yeah, the TLT could do it.
Yeah. I mean, Jan's going over that rock.
Yes.
I think he's okay with that, to be honest.
I agree. Yeah,
That's
I think...
fine.
Game over, man. Game over.
Robin is in a very good position.
He is.
Right now, after that.
I can't see Darren pulling this back either. I mean...
Not impossible.
It's not impossible, but it's very
rarely
difficult.
Impossible.
It's very difficult, because Quick Draw still gets multiple attacks.
Yes.
Which can only be pinged off by the TLT and Aaron Kraken, and they've got to make sure to quick focus him down, but that means not killing Backdraft.
Mm-hmm.
So...
well, if we had a crown...
yeah. We have a Pirate King title, but currently that's in the ownership of Chris Turner, and the challenge has been thrown down to Chris Yules. But I'm sure maybe Robin would love his shot at that title at some point.
Although, don't you have to fly Scum to claim that title?
No, we've not said that you have to fly Scum. It's just you must fight the owner of the title. As it were.
Fair enough.
In which case, I think the idea is it will transition from Scumkin to Emperor. And Rebel, I don't know what the Rebel one would call it. Maybe the Rebel Scum King. But who knows? You can change a Hawk's dial. Oh, Chris Neal. Zing! But on the plus side, you can change a Hawk's dial after a set, apparently. Let's not go into that controversy, which was an awful display of bad mistakes on someone's part, and also with quietly deplorable behaviour on the community's part. I can fully understand that people didn't like it, and it was utterly deplorable what he did, but we can all move on. You know, it's in the past. Let's try and move on and think of the future of X-Wing rather than the past. Yeah. Maybe look a Charles WWE title. Don't tempt me. I've thought about this multiple times. Of getting an actual belt that we can have. I mean, you laugh, but the Stell Open in the United States does have a belt. It does. They play X-Wing and they do have a belt.
Well,
why not? So, now I'm going to be looking for prices of how much championship belts cost to manufacture. Just a little one. Just a little one to go around the waist.
Yeah. See if you can convince Jamie to fit it in the budget.
Everything's to fit in the budget. My new streaming equipment. All kinds. As 4, one for each game. Yeah, X-Wing, Imperial Assault, Armada, and the card game, which probably is now 5, given they've got Destiny as well. So, what date is Store Championship? That's a good question. I believe it's July. So we're having a Store Championship down here in Norwich on July, and I believe it's the 22nd. I can soon find out because I'm the one who arranges these dates, but I can't keep them all here. Look at it.
I'm seeing the list here. It's absurd.
Extensively absurd. Okay, so
we do a lot of things.
We have an X-Wing on the 15th of July, so the week before. So the 15th of July is when it is. The 22nd is the Game of Thrones regional. So the 15th of July is the X-Wing Store Championships here, and we'll definitely be streaming that. In fact, myself, Hedge, and Mr. David Lincoln will be in the booth that day, giving colour commentary on all the games going on. That's going to be one hell of a slog because, we're going to be here all day.
It'll be a long one.
It'll be a top cut. There's a cut, so yes.
In a store championship, the company has to
do it. The Angry Birds would love a trinket. I may even have one left over from a fancy dress party. Dear Lord. Thing is, I'd want to have the Athena logo on like the side pauldrons, and in the middle, I don't know what I'd want. You'd
have to mod it somehow.
Yeah, a crown of something. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, here comes the tire Seraphim, which in this case is backdraft into a very strong position with essentially pure back blocking or covering the arcs along the kind of blind spots the SFs have. I won't be surprised if Quick Draw is doing the exact same. Oh, Quick Draw's actually going forward.
I was asking another question. How many rounds would you expect the store championships?
I always, when I'm making these events, I always assume capacity because why not?
It makes sense.
It makes sense to assume worst possible case scenario, or in this case, the best case scenario.
Busiest case
scenario. In that case, we're looking at 41 to 44 players, 5 rounds, and a top 8 cut. So that's essentially 7 or 8 rounds. Because 8, 4, 2, so 8 rounds.
8 rounds, yeah.
So 5 rounds, top cut of 2, lots of rounds. And bear in mind, we usually go 4. We usually have 4 rounds. So that's double what we usually have. So we finish at 5. Busy day, yes.
Busy day.
Okay, so he's gone over the asteroid, which he knew he was going to do. He was going to anyway.
That's. I think he's fine with that.
He takes no damage. He was lucky there.
Especially because he is not in. He's not in Quick Draw's arc.
No spinner title, please. No spinning title. I don't mind spinners titles, but I think something a bit more less tacky. Please. Oh god, this is happening, isn't it?
You might have just
started something.
You might have done. Yeah, it's possible.
Oh dear.
He's giving an extra die to Aaron, who I think is going to go. Yeah, he's going to go for 4 dice into quick draw.
This actually
to wipe off.
This could clear all the shields, although it does mean quick draw's going to get a return shot.
True.
But it could be the downfall of Kraken if that happens.
Potentially, that's
2.
Oh,
kind of didn't work there. No. And 2 evades.
Oh well, there we go.
You guys are always hilarious towards the end of a stream marathon. It's not really a marathon, but thank you. All right, so here we go.
So he's going to try and
Jan on trying to kill backdraft, which makes sense. Yeah,
that's what I would do in this.
If you're not going to have belts, entrance music is required. We can't get the license for music. You know,
that's going to cost even more.
Yeah, I'd go for a belt. I'd rather a belt. If I had to choose, a belt.
I mean, the only thing you'd have to go for something that's in the public domain, and that doesn't work. It's in the wrong style.
There is a focus that was hidden underneath Aaron Kraken there, who is mysteriously hiding it from Backdraft. Oh, it's fine. Just Kraken landed where he was, and of course those bases are hollow underneath. So
they are.
They can actually hide things.
They can, yeah. So that's
2 focus results.
Are you not spending? Oh no, are those?
He didn't spend it. Now he does,
3
because he now there's guaranteed kill. Less, yeah.
Go on.
There goes Backdraft.
Yeah. Backdraft drops. Yeah. That's okay. That's good. That's good for Darren. He's still not in the. He's still in the weaker position.
I'm going to beat Audio Weasel with this. Reboom. So yes. As for being hilarious, Audio Weasel. Okay, there's another attack. I believe that's from Pure Back.
With that few dice, no, that's from Quick Draw.
That is quick. Yes, yeah, because quick. Yes.
Pure Back still has 4 dice base.
Yeah. There's Pure Back, and there's probably Aaron Kraken's death. To be quite honest.
Probably.
Yep, because Kraken took 2 shields.
There it goes.
And then was utterly obliterated in 1 round of engagement, because Kraken is still a Z95 and they're still very squishy.
Winner must wear belt to regionals from the Athena branded Lando cape. Love
it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep. Definitely.
The thing is, Tash or no Tash?
Tash.
Yeah, the Lando thing. You got to do the Lando thing. Yeah. And a bottle of Old Spice. What?
Yeah. Fair. Oh.
Have you not seen some of the commercials that Billy D. Williams has done in his past?
Yeah.
As for being entertaining, we actually got, someone called us out on YouTube about how you and I waffled on about Rebels for about, what was it, half an hour?
Last time,
which I don't care. We're here to be entertaining. The game's entertaining. We're entertaining. You guys can see what's going on. We give you color commentary, but at the same time of the day, we're trying to just be ourselves. We're not trying to dress it up.
No.
Right then. Well, Quick Draw is in a very strong position because she's not lost any shields.
Nope.
So that means that the Hawk can only remove 2. Mm-hmm. So that means Quick Draw's going to get at least 2 attacks this game.
And Pure Back has still got the full 4 dice.
This of course is assuming that Jan's going to live long enough for Quick Draw to get his 2 attack. Him or her?
From what I recall, the original release thing that FFG put out referred to both of them as her.
Okay, so yeah.
Both Quick Draw and Backdraft.
So that's assuming she will get both her attacks, because Jan might already be dead by that time.
Well, Jan shoots first.
That was it! Colt 45!
Jan shoots first.
Jan does shoot first. That's true.
So she will get her. Jan will definitely get her attempt, unless they both manage to land in the bubble. No, that's just Quick Draw's just going over there.
Thank you, Grumpy. We appreciate that, and thank you for commenting. I noticed that you've been keeping quite quiet. I'm going to give a shout out while everything's going a bit slow. So. Shout out to all our viewers in the chat right now, and there's a lot of you.
That's quite a few.
Apostasis, I think that's what it is.
Apostasis?
I think we discussed this last time. He actually mentioned the pronunciation, but I have forgotten because it's been 2 weeks. So I think it's apostasis. Audio Weasel, of course, always there. Captain Stouty, thank you for joining us. Chris Neal, thank you for joining us again. Almo Riso, great job joining us. I know it's your first time. You're looking forward to your first time playing. You've recently got into the game. Mm-hmm. Welcome. We hope that you find it entertaining. Look to our YouTube page.
Trying to TLT. Yeah, he's sending the TLT into Quick Draw while the shots aren't coming back.
Well, that's still very good attack quality there. And
that's good defense quality.
That's not happened. And Robin's probably going to take 1 here, but it doesn't matter because it's still only 1 shield removed. Although he doesn't get it. 1 shield removed.
There we go. Well, but not getting the return shot, which is, fine. But That's still lots of dice coming from...
You don't have to say anything. We just thought you were being quiet, you know. Okay, that's really good from...
2, and that's hit quit from the looks of it.
So that's a shield and...
Do you need that number?
Huh?
Do you need that number anymore?
That's true. I don't need that number anymore
And
because...
that's...
Blinded pilot. He can't attack. Ooh.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Well, that's not the one he wanted. GG. It was a good game.
Oh dear. Yep.
Because he's probably going to die before he gets his next attack off.
Sleeving all your upgrade cards. Run out after 700 sleeves. Wow. How many? Just what? Really? 700 upgrade cards.
I'm going to continue going down the list.
Sure.
Elpitus. Is there Elpitus? Elpitus?
Elpits.
I don't know. Elpits. I'll say Elpits.
That'll do.
Grumpy Ethelyn. Hedge, of course. Hey, Hedge. Nice to see you in the chat. Hyperion. I say Hyperion because it's not Hyperion, it's Hyperion. Oh, God. Kulon Susi 666. Well, summoning the devil there, but we'll see how things go. Lager 50, seen you in the chat before. Welcome back. Lithu 2017, welcome back once again. We thank all our people who've been here before for joining us. No beef, just party. Well, that is clearly Mr. Stephen Sage, because he mentioned Angry Birds. So unless someone is impersonating him, that's of course Stephen Sage, who would have been here tonight if he could. PJ Broughton, Rogue Historian, TheHeatSeeker.com. I love that name. TheHeatSeeker.com. And finally Rathra, who is actually usually Darren, I believe, but I think that's probably his wife who's actually watching us on stream.
I assume it's not Darren.
If that is, he's cheating. Okay, well, he's bumped with Pure Sabak, and that could give Jan a bit more gas in the tank, but Jan is going to move away, so...
She is. I'm guessing she's going to move right.
In which case she's facing off against Quick Draw.
Oh, no, she's going straight.
Oh, dear.
Oh, that's probably not...
Darren actually is probably get to the point where he's like, you know what, I've lost this, I'm going to go off the board in style. That's what I'll do.
Or, possibly, he wants to TLT Pure Sabak. If he gets both in, then Sabak's down to... less attack. Yeah, that's... it will be down to only 3 attack.
He's going out to Pure Sabak.
He wants to drop that to...
focus that up for 3 hits.
Yeah, because if both of these come through, and the first one does...
The first one has gone through.
If the second one goes through, then Pure Sabak is down to 3 attack dice instead of 4.
Could we see him pull this one back?
Oh, that's gone through as well.
That's gone through. So
Pure Sabak now has... all 3 ability is gone now.
Yes.
Probably still... I mean, it's going to...
Hang on, he had Blinded Pilot.
Did he? Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure Jan had Blinded Pilot. I mean, that attack just happened and I think Jan just went down, so I don't actually think it makes a difference anymore. So... But, yeah. That should have been a thing. Yeah. Robin... Robin wins the second Voitek Invitational in a row, it seems.
Well, it's all over.
Yeah.
There wasn't Blinded Pilot, it was Shaken Pilot.
I see.
But I have...
Easy mistake.
I bought company.
Oh, fair enough. Hello.
We need to sit down, we've got headaches.
Please take a seat.
Reasonable.
That was the untidiest game of X-Wing I've ever played.
Yeah, you said you wanted to talk us through the mistakes. So...
It took you a long while to get into an engagement.
Here's your microphone, guys.
Oh, gee, thanks.
The long while to get into an engagement is fine.
Yeah.
But let's discuss the mistakes
All right.
we compiled, and there's a bit of a litany of them at this point as
So
well.
where to go from? I've got a pretty good memory of how...
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so Miranda's pulled into range 3 of the 2 SFs. Just about.
Then we've got Jan and Aaron both in position.
So Miranda does her normal 6 dice beside off. Unfortunately, doesn't quite get, but does enough to kill Backdraft. Unfortunately, she's pilot skill 8.
And is activated with all the other pilot skill 10s, as we're both being like, oh, this is fine. These guys are all going as a block, right?
So Robin has forgotten to activate, what's his name?
Quick draw.
Quick draw. So she should have fired. So we go, okay then. All right, so fire quick draw. What happens? All Miranda's shields go. So I couldn't therefore use Miranda's shield to do the additional point of damage enough to kill Backdraft. But Miranda rolled 1 dice in defence because we were all sitting there all confused.
She should have
rolled 2
because it was range 3.
So we rolled. It's
Out of
well
curiosity.
beyond this time. So we rolled it anyway.
Evade.
And it was an evade. So Miranda would have had 1 shield left, in which case she would have killed Backdraft, and Pure Sabak would have done enough damage to leave her on 1 hull. So Miranda would still been alive, Backdraft would have been dead.
And it's a bit of a different game there.
Yes, because then you'd have to divert Quick Draw's attack to taking down Miranda, which means less attack on other things, more chances to take her down.
It's much more of a 50-50 thing at that point, because I would have got that range 1 exchange that I wanted, because everything would have positioned itself more or less where it would have been. So I would have been able to pour fire into Miranda if I needed to. Miranda's shot, or anyone's shot going on Quick Draw, would have given me another shot in the mix. So it's...
I wouldn't have shot him. My whole thing is don't shoot
Quick Draw.
Quick Draw. Take out the others first. So Backdraft, the idea was he was going to go down to the cannon, the blaster again. And with a TLT firing out because he doesn't have that much in the way of defence.
And then we get the crit on Jan, which the commentary booth understandably saw the word pilot and thought was blinded pilot, but was in fact stunned pilot. No, sorry, shaken pilot.
Yep.
Okay.
Which means you can't do straight manoeuvres.
Did straight manoeuvre anyway.
Straight manoeuvre. Oh, yes.
So the sum total of our mistakes are quite significant.
Yeah. New list. Yeah. But both new lists. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Like this
New lists when you've been flying the SF for quite a while and you've been running these 3 ships for quite a lot.
Yeah. There's no real excuse for the mistakes that were made.
So Robin wins.
But for the purposes
between us, we got a draw.
Audio Weasel. So in an alternate universe, this game went completely differently.
It would have been a much closer run thing if Miranda had still been on the board.
Yes.
That would have been a game I wouldn't have wanted to call at that point, because firepower starts getting thrown around and like ships start going in very different positions, and it's a very...
Still happy with the way the list performed though.
Yeah,
With
I think it's a good
shots
list.
and stuff. Yeah,
It is a good list.
I think it's going to be big, especially the focus. Focus is coming in all the time, especially for the TLT. It's fantastic.
And you've proved that you can fly the SFs very well, as you know, even in a list that's not like your original one.
But I caught you that time. I got you.
All
3 of my guys on 1 ship.
Our first turn of firing, that was a bad call on my part. Like, I banked in when what I should have done is a 1 forward and barrel roll out to then come in quickly the following turn and get all guns on, and that was just a bad call on my part.
Well, you definitely were manoeuvring in the first few stages. I mean, there were some rounds where there was no combat going on. You just were manoeuvring for a good shot or a good opening to go in there, which we did. We were talking a lot about other things while you guys were doing all that, but we could see that you were trying to get wait for your opening essentially.
I was very pleased with Pure Sabak's positioning. Like that was perfect. Good. Like I got in, I was throwing 4 or 5 dice in on people very, very quickly to no real answering return fire because they were high priority targets.
Well, by that time the Miranda had gone and there was no positioning or anything else to speak of. It would have been Miranda doing a hard right at that point.
And like I had to flank around with that striker, because if that striker eats even one of those missiles, it's probably dead.
Yes.
And certainly a 6 dice concussion missile from Miranda is going to kill a striker more or less outright, more or less every time.
Most likely,
there's a limit to how much lightweight frame can do. Having said that, expertise plus lightweight frame is a very strong combo.
Expertise by itself is epic bump, and you're still focusing on your shot.
It's the only 4-point EPT that's worth it.
Yeah, and I was really dubious because I dropped 12 points of EPTs onto 3 ships.
Yeah.
In that list. But yeah, I've had some very good luck with the dice today, because my game against Voitek shouldn't have gone my way either. If I'm being completely honest, of the first 11 evade dice I rolled, 9 were natural evades, which
that'll
does
do.
a
That'll do.
massive improvement on the durability of any list.
I'm sure it would. But yeah. So messy game, but do you guys have fun?
Yes.
Always.
Darren's list is a real headache to come into.
That's why it was called the Farndon Special.
It's really interesting because Darren's taken a list that I was using for a little bit, and then he has changed it into something that's quite different. Because he's swapped the homing missiles out for concussions. He's going very much more for like consistent, heavy hitting, hard hitting, reliable damage, rather than the kind of ace killing, evade preventing
Defensive.
alpha strike I was going for, which was very much built around the concept of I want to kill interceptors, I want to kill defenders, I want to kill Protectorate starfighters, and that being the objective.
Yeah, the list still does that, but it does it in different ways.
Yeah. You do it by just like putting out vastly more damage than anyone can defend against.
Constantly. It's constant high level damage.
Yeah.
That list, and it's the availability of being able to do it. On some lists, you can fly in on turn 1. You can do mega amounts of damage. Turn 2, and you got to recover. You got to do like a cornhorn kind of thing and recover your ship, and then you can build it all up again. But if I get 3 or 4 turns at the start of the game, when I get a few focuses on, I can do that.
Yeah.
Turns in a row.
If someone can rush in and start attacking you, then
they're still going to eat missiles in the face because they're not going to get their first turn.
True, but they're also going to. The sooner they can engage you, the less you can build up. Plus, if it depends on how they engage you. We thought a swarm would be painful.
Would be a problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because then you have to like, well, there's no priority target bar. Of course, probably someone like Hellrunner.
Yeah.
But
having said that though, like, it's very difficult to engage with Darren's list on the terms you want because it's pilot skill 8 and then 2 pilot skill 10s, which means you've got to have a very big pilot skill
unfortunately, the
advantage.
pilot skill
built in.
10s are not manoeuvrable. They have no extra movement afterwards. They go there and they stop.
It's true.
And that's it.
The chat did talk about earlier about like what list or what type of list archetype would be good against yours.
Snack, crackle, pop.
Snack, crackle, pop.
Yeah.
Really, getting into range 1 and.
They will just fly up. Even if I just do a range 1 movement, they've got 5 ships around. They're all going to just go on Miranda or Kraken and just take them down.
A-Wings have the real advantage as well that they can do a 5 forwards and then a boost, which gives them
a 7
complete
forward.
control
Yeah.
over where and when they engage.
Yeah.
And then they can force bumps and they can make life miserable.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably a fairly good shout. I think that's a better call than a TIE Swarm, to be honest, because the A-Wings have got potentially a little bit more durability. They've got the snapshot advantage, and your list against TIE Swarms is killing 2 or 3 of them.
I'd hope it
It's
will kill
killing
2
2.
a turn.
Yeah.
And if you're taking 2 TIEs off before they shoot, then
Miranda doing like 4 shots with a focus and a target lock.
We also think that someone like Torquil Mux, who can lower your Miranda's pilot skill down to 0, would also damage it, because then
he'd be the first one shot. But he's got to be in what, range 1 to do that?
range 1 to 3 to do that.
the nice thing about Torquil is he doesn't have to decide what he's doing with that like range 1 to 2 bubble that he's got until the start of the combat phase either. So if Miranda's fully token stacked and is ready to do her thing, she gets dropped down to 0. If she's not, Aaron Kraken gets dropped down to 0 and doesn't get to pass off that free action until it's basically a useless action base.
I'm only letting you do that once.
Oh yes. Yes, but the thing is, it could be that once that makes all the difference.
I have to admit, I'm not 100% convinced by my list. I think the homing missile FS.
Yeah, I think I would never have put myself in that position with the homing missile sitting there.
Yeah,
because you would have had 2 homing missiles on Miranda, and that's it. That's bye bye.
True.
Voitek wants to know 200-0? No, it was, what was it?
35 points of backdraft off the board. So 135.
135 to
100.
100. Is that what it is?
No, that comes
100 to me, 35 to Darren.
Yeah.
35 to...
After...
Stuff.
A messy game.
Obviously, if this was like a big tournament, we would have taken it into the car park and sorted it out like men.
Yeah. It's the only way to do it. None of this like sort of final salvo. Half a pool cue. The two of you are locked in the room. Whichever man walks out.
Soon saw some of the communities, I think.
No, but there are medals at stake apparently. Yeah,
there are medals at stake.
Oh,
we have medals.
There we go.
Yes.
Very nice.
So yes. Well, thank you both for coming in. Thank you guys for talking through your game. Mm-hmm. Thank you for giving us such an entertaining game as well.
Apologies about the massive confusion we must have caused the commentary team.
I think it died. It was taken off the board, and then apparently the shards of spaceship coalesced and reformed.
And it's not even Teltravura.
I know, right? What?
So yeah, but don't worry about that. We may do. Yeah, thank you.
We were thinking about rewinding it even further and putting Miranda back on the board just to see your face.
What are they doing?
Also, I would like to say a big thank you to Darren in general for some fantastic sportsmanship.
The best guys I've played with, mate.
That was excellent, and I would like a rematch at some point where we can do everything properly.
What time do you close tonight?
In an hour.
Oh, we can't fit our game in an hour.
I'll do you in 15 minutes, mate.
Excellent stuff.
Right. Well, I'm going to let you guys get back out there, and we're going to hopefully get some results from Voitek soon.
Cool.
Thank
you very much to the commentary team as well, because I'm aware that you guys are both giving up your Wednesday night X-Wing to come and commentate on our mini tournament.
I love doing it, so it's fun.
It is fun.
Also, Voitek, thank you for organising these things.
Hey.
We'll get out your hair.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it. Thank you and good luck. Hope your standings are what you hope you.
Standing one.
It's always about luck, isn't it? Well, that was entertaining. It's nice to always have the players in the booth talking to us.
Yeah, as long as it. Right. You generally hope the stream ones don't run to time.
Let me catch up with the chat because I've had to like. So yeah, crit counters. No one uses them. Yeah, no one uses crit counters.
That's true.
I do. People should use them more.
Probably, yeah.
Well done, Robin. Yeah. I think Cockatoo makes some as well. Yep. They do make crit tokens for specific UKs, for specific crits here in the UK for Cockatoo. I mean. Okay. But yeah, it's very, very nice. I swear by Cockatoo. Do you use Cockatoo products?
I haven't, but
They're what Robin was using actually in the game. If you actually wind back, you can actually look at the Cockatoo tokens that he was using. Very good company. I swear by them. I get all my stuff from Cockatoo. They're not sponsored by them. I just think they're great people. They sent me some templates and they were miscut because they didn't fit in the tray that they also sent me. And they sent me a full set completely free of charge. Full set completely free of charge.
I could do with a new range ruler. I
There you
think
go.
you've seen the one I have.
Yeah.
It's
bit bent.
little bit. It's still technically the right length.
Technically, but I guess as you bend it, you can't just hold it. You have to kind of lay it down and press, to make sure it's flat. But,
it's the one from the original base set.
And how long have you been playing?
At this point, 2.5 years.
Well, there you go then. So you're due for some acrylics by this point. Yeah. In fact, we have some acrylics are the store championship prizes, I believe. I believe top 8 get a range 1-3. Top 4 get the segments.
Right. Okay. I've got to get working on that then.
Yeah, gotta get working on that one. Because you're not going to be needed in here because we've got Hedge and David in here, so you can have your shot at the title, as it were.
I've been doing all right so far. The last couple of tournaments have gone fairly well.
You have off-the-wall lists which no one expects, and that's pretty much what gets you the win because you have so out-of-the-box looks. It's like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Well, look, it's not my fault if an
not
escalation tournament comes up and you can have all the rebel ties in 60 points. It seems obvious.
I was debating, or I did hear David Lincoln talking about a 4 Lothal rebel escalation list. It's like, oh dear.
I can see that.
Yes. But yeah, and that's generally it. I'm just waiting for standings. We should be able to get standings soon, and we'll be able to report it, like who won. We know that Robin won, pretty much. I think is what it's it.
Well, it's 8 people in Swiss, and he won all 3 games.
So
he's won.
He's
That's
won.
that.
There's no debate
so
about that.
Which means Darren came second. After that, we're not sure.
But yeah, it is the next level to find out who got third and fourth, because we have medals that was kindly donated by Owen Appleton, one of our other regulars. He donated 4 Star Wars themed medals, and they're not official X-Wing medals, they're actual medals that you can buy in a store somewhere. They're very cheapy little things, but there's something. And I think I have a few medals actually in my box somewhere for a rainy day. I collect things, anything that's in the store, that's in the kits that don't get used. Like, well, we'll put that aside for a rainy day.
Yeah.
I am tempted by that Ray though.
Yeah, it's nice.
There's 2 in a box. I'm not sure. There's 2 in the box. I'm not sure what to do with 2. 1's easy. 2's difficult because you really expect like a top 4 for things like that. So I don't know whether 1 is TO support, in which case I will definitely be having that for my collection, or if we should do it for 2. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. As a collector, I really want that Ray, but who knows?
It's a nice card.
I like all cards, anything and everything. Literally, don't get me started on alt art cards. My collection. Is it bad that I was once looking at that Lando that cost like £250 and think I could just about manage £250?
That's a lot.
But it's a card.
That's a lot for 1 card.
Yeah. Even though I had to hum and ha about the bigs, spot gloss at £100, like, spot gloss. And in the end, I didn't, and it was very kindly given to me by the community as a gift, which I still feel terrible about because I was a complete arse in the tournament that we did that we played in to win it. That's why I don't play in tournaments, and I'm fully willing to admit that I have faults. But yeah, here's what it is. I was really nice. I'd donate my poster signed by David Prowse's surprise. I'm not though. Ouch. Well, that's fun because we're currently arranging a charity tournament later this year. Because Mr. Toby Brown wants to do what he did last year. Like we had the Blitz event. We want to do another one this year at Christmas. And if the prize support is very good, probably expect me to be playing in that. But most likely I want to try and get it on the stream because I think it's a fun, different format.
Is it Blitz again?
It might be Blitz, or it might be the capture the flag one, the capture the upgrade one. I can't remember what the name, the Furball, what they are. But yeah, 21 points a ship or something, or 25 or something. You can scramble for upgrades that are in the middle, or you can hang back and wait. But there's no restriction on upgrades. I can't remember what it is. But it's where in the middle there are upgrades you can collect, and it's a random upgrade, and you can put that on any ship. So you could end up with an A-wing with an advanced cloaking device and an unhinged astromech, which is ridiculous. And I have actually had that before in a game we've done of that. I end up with an A-wing with a cloaking device, with advanced cloaking device, I should say, and unhinged astromech. That was so fun. It's like my 2s were all green. Now my 3s are all green, and I can cloak. And I can cloak after I attack. And it's a good thing I'm Tycho Celtiu at pilot skill 8 then, isn't it? 'Cause I'm quite high.
That's...
And then I flew off the board. I made a miscalculation with the decloak and flew off the board. It happens.
Yeah.
Hunger Games, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yes. A-Wings with laser cannon. I think I got a mangler cannon when I was playing that game, which is like, okay, I got a bit of a boost. But still, that was really fun. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
It does sound fun.
It sounds fun. And what's great is because there's a mystery there of like, what's going to be the next upgrade in the list? What next crazy combination are we going to see? We can see Biggs with cloaking device, or maybe even with glitter stim. Oh god, hey, just thinking about epic Hunger Games. Two Corvettes enter, 1 Corvette leaves. All right. I'm also going to announce on the stream, because we recently had a vote. Voitek's with standings.
So, I can give you the top 3.
Top 3.
If you're happy with that.
Yes.
So, 3rd place, John Easter.
John Easter's 3rd place.
With 2 victories and 400 MOV.
2 victories and 400 MOV.
On the 2nd place, it's Darren Chapman.
Of course.
2 victories. And 411 MOV.
411 MOV.
Which means exactly 11 points more than John.
Okay.
And also, John's 400 means he can either win 200-0 or lose 200-0, because that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, on the first place is Robin with 3 victories and 509 out of 600.
509. Wow. Crazy. Thank you so much for running this, Voitek.
Thanks very much for the stream.
Oh, no, thank you for helping me run it.
I was told that the third game was full of mishaps,
Yes.
mistakes.
Yes.
It looked like 2 beginner X-Wing players forgetting about rules all the time.
A little bit.
Little bit.
Little bit.
Yeah, so that's probably going to be funny to watch.
It's going to be funny to watch back, especially our reaction to that. But no, thank you once again for helping us run it.
Thanks very much, and probably see you, because there is no tournament in June.
There isn't. It's the
I
think
first July.
So there is no tournament in June, but then July is like early July and then store championships.
Early July, then
later.
store championships, yeah.
So just to make like 2 weeks breaks between tournaments, we're gonna do the next Wednesday special in like the middle of June.
Sure.
Just to make middle of the June, normal tournament and then store championships.
Sure. I look forward to it.
Very well.
Well, actually, I was about to announce that that's not going to be a normal It's not going to be a normal event. The votes were 50-50, 15-15 tied.
Oh yeah, there was.
It was completely tied.
So who's got the casting vote? You, I guess then.
And given that it's so unique, and that's closest to a championships, I have decided to go for an epic team tournament. Our first ever epic team tournament.
I guess the Xerox should be there already.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So
assuming I'm
would
assuming
be
if it's
team
out, it'll be
epic?
allowed.
Can I make the
Rules.
announcement to the guys outside then?
Sure, please do.
Also, just to let you guys know, don't just rush through, alright?
Alright. Well, me?
No, as in these two.
Oh, those two.
This is a store bit, just remember. So just don't just rush through, okay?
I mean, we are supposed not to run through it.
No, as in like.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, team epic.
Team epic.
So
Team epic.
What's the epic is obvious, but the team, so too.
Well, I'll go over the official rules when I post the actual event up, but I'm just saying that it's going to be Team Epic, and it's probably going to be, I think the Team Epic rules say 200 points aside, or, 200
Per
points
player.
total, or per player, so per player.
Yep.
And I'm going to say that you have to be careful with, because you can't have things overlap, of course.
Yep.
So you have to basically make your fleets together.
A unique is a unique for between both lists
Oh,
of
yeah.
team.
Obviously. So Boba Fett, there is only one Boba Fett.
Well,
There's only one
yeah.
Boba Fett. You can't have Boba Fett
So
and Boba Fett on the
There's
same
only
team.
one score to settle as well.
Yes, things like that.
Yes.
You're going to have to be very careful with that. As for, it's going to be a restriction that you must have at least one epic ship.
Per player.
Player.
No,
side.
per team.
Per team, okay.
Right.
Yes,
All right,
per
okay.
team. Per team.
Okay, sure.
With 3
At least
epic
that makes
points.
it fair, because if you've got somebody who doesn't own an epic ship and you've got a
That will just make it
teammate
so
who's
much
got one,
The idea is that people without epic ships can team up with people with epic ships.
Yes.
So they can still get in on the fun.
And also, people who would like to fly with Corvette or the Rider can easily do it.
They're just spending more
Otherwise,
points.
they will have
Yeah.
50, 60 points for other stuff. and
Yeah,
that becomes
exactly.
sad.
Exactly. So, 3 epic points. And if you want to get janky, you can, if you want, run 2 epic ships, a Corvette and the
Yeah,
smaller one.
yeah.
But that's the maximum.
Oh, you can play
You
with
can.
one, obviously,
You
right?
can,
Yeah.
but of course you're spending more points.
Is there a faction restriction other than no doubling factions?
You must have the same faction each.
Oh, you must have the same
Yeah,
faction.
Yes.
you're on the same. You're on the same side.
You're on the same side. You can't have
Okay.
Imperial tying the Scum. You have to have 2 Scum players, 2 Umbrella players, 2 Imperial
Okay.
players.
Which also means aggressors in the same team but on different players are not giving each others their abilities.
Yes. Yeah, it gets jank. I would put.
just saying that's
Yeah,
potential.
Yeah. I would. Oh, that's a difficult
That
one.
would, just saying that would make it stupidly powerful because
Yes.
you could go with the
All
Xerox,
of them.
obviously,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all 4 of them, and have about 50 points. 50? No, 50. 150 or 160
Yeah.
points. For other
I
stuff.
would say that it counts
Just saying.
only between
You
players.
could have as well put the IG-88 crew member on the Xerox.
But I believe
That would
that's.
remove one.
that would remove one of
remove
them.
one of them.
That is one of them. Yeah.
But
That
it still
is-
makes it very difficult and janky. So yeah, I say that it is between the abilities like that. That one specifically is between the player only and not cross between the players. Just to make things more balanced. I mean, this is the first time we've
Yeah,
run
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
obviously,
this,
obviously,
so we're not.
I
This
mean,
is
there are probably some kind of semi or official rules for Team Epic.
There is
Yes.
official. Yeah.
I guess that's just a reasonable thing to do.
Yes.
Not to make it
Yeah.
great.
I think there are official team rules for Team Epic, but we're gonna have to house rule lots of it because they don't pay attention to that format as much as they do in standard.
Okay.
But we'll have a look at it and we'll judge it on a case by
I'm
case.
super happy. I was voting for Team Epic because I don't have an Epic ship yet, and I'm super excited of getting one.
Well, the Sea Rock should be here soon.
Yes.
Soon.
All right. Okay. Thanks very much, gentlemen, for the stream again.
Thank you very much for
it was,
running it, and appreciate the work both of you put in. Thank you very much.
That's my pleasure. Thanks very much.
Thank you. And of course, thank you, for dear viewers, for tuning in with us. We appreciate you guys sticking around, especially when it's me and Max just nattering on about various subjects
and occasionally
talk about the game. We hope you've had a good evening. We hope you've enjoyed the games you've seen. The games will be going up on YouTube as soon as they possibly can. Last week's, the last time we did this, the games were delayed in going up, and they only just been put up yesterday and today. Expect the first match at the very least to be up. I'm going to say Friday because I want it up by Friday, but definitely before the next flight night.
Okay, just asking when this the Team Epic tournament is scheduled.
Okay, as a preliminary date, and this is only preliminary because things do change, it's looking like the 1st of July. The 1st, because that would have been the June, but we've had to put it back a week, so it's now in July. Because Sword Championships would have taken the place of the July one. So essentially, that's why July's getting 2, because...
There's not one in June?
Yeah, there's not one in June. Because with the June one's being pushed back to July. Yeah. So that's how it's worked.
Seems reasonable.
And so the next time we're doing Standard is August, so it's quite a while away. But we've of course got another Voitek Invitational happening soon, or probably a Farndon Invitational, if that's what we're going to be calling it.
Well, if Voitek's still running it, then...
It's still his Invitational.
It's still his.
Still his.
Yeah.
But we hope you all a good time, everyone. If there's anything you want to say, don't forget to post your comments on the videos when they finally go to YouTube. We appreciate any feedback people have. Like them, share them. Spread the word about what we do here. We're not everyone's cup of tea. That's quite clear. But we like to provide interesting content for viewers, and we have a few Magic videos as well. So it's not just X-Wing. We do variety content. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We'll see you again next time, which will be Flight Night, which will be in 2 weeks' time. No, actually, not 2 weeks' time. 3 weeks' time, because it's a 5-week month for Wednesday.
Yes.
So we'll be back on the 7th of May. 7th of June for our next Flight Night. Then the 21st, and then of course we enter into dangerous territory with the Store Championships the following month. We won't be streaming Team Epic because big boards.
It might be difficult.
Very difficult. So thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you all next time. My name is Elliot Bacon. I've been joined by Max Ball. Thank you very much for joining us, Max. It's always a pleasure to have you in the booth.
It was fun.
So good night, everyone. Hope you have a good time, and remember to fly casual.
Bye.